Hi, I'm Hannah, and I am a certified trauma-informed yoga teacher. And this class is all about choice. And I specifically created this class for survivors of sexual assault and abuse. And so I invite you to experience this class as an opportunity to practice and exercise your right to choose. Everything in this class is an invitation, which means that you can accept or decline at any time, no questions asked, no justification needed. And it might be helpful to have a couple blankets, and if you'd like, you could even start sitting on one of your blankets as we come into any seated shape that feels welcome to your body. I'm gonna come here into a cross-legged shape. However, if it feels more supportive in your body to perhaps bring the soles of the feet together, or maybe to have one leg out or both, it's totally your choice. And with a second blanket, it might feel welcome to use this blanket as a little bit of extra covering and protection. And so you might explore draping a blanket maybe over your lap, or perhaps wrapping it around your shoulders and cocooning yourself in this moment. Or you might forgo the blanket altogether, which is absolutely welcome. And whatever you decide to do in this moment, whether it's use the blanket, come into a seated shape, or perhaps do something different than what I'm doing, I invite you to decide if you'd like to take the eyes closed, or you might choose to leave the eyes open. And if you decide to leave your eyes open, you might explore taking the gaze down the bridge of your nose, perhaps resting your eyes on an unmoving spot. Option to trace the outline of your body with your awareness, simply noticing how your physical body is feeling in this moment. There's no need to change how you're feeling or to judge it, but instead, I invite you to simply become aware of it. As we take another 1 or 2 breaths here, perhaps bringing some awareness into the parts of your body that are connected to what's supporting you. Noticing the pressure of your body sinking down into this support, and the support rising up to meet your body. I offer you a simple affirmation for our short practice together today. And it is, I am free to choose. I am free to choose. If you'd like to work with this affirmation, you might repeat it in the privacy of your mind, or even out loud if you want to. Perhaps taking a conscious breath into it, letting it settle in to your very being. I am free to choose. Allowing this remainder of our practice to be an exercise of your right to choose, your freedom to choose. And so with that, I invite you to perhaps place your hands on the tops of your legs. And you have a couple options here to choose from. You could choose to create some torso circles, perhaps allowing your spine to come forward and then round back. And these circles can be big or small. They can be whatever size you want them to be. Another option is to simply draw your spine forward and then curve the spine back. So you choose what feels the most supportive and welcome to your body in this moment. You might even start to explore pairing your breath with movement. So maybe as you inhale the spine forward, whether you're rounding it or drawing it forward, perhaps you inhale. And as you send your spine back, curve it back, maybe you exhale. And if you're making torso circles, you might explore sending your spine, your circles in the opposite direction. Setting your own pace here. You know your body best. You know what your needs are. You know your preferences. And so I invite you to tune into what you need in this moment, making choices that reflect those needs. As we take our last round of breath here, starting to slowly find completion, coming back to center. And as you find your way back to center, you might just take 1 or 2 breaths to feel any sensation that is present for you in your body. Perhaps noticing what's present in and around your spine and your hips. And if you're ready to continue moving, you might inhale and reach your arms up overhead, perhaps allowing your spine to grow a little bit taller, taking up a bit more space as you do so. And as you exhale, option to place one hand down on the floor. I'm going to start with my right side. And with your hand planted on the earth, you could reach your top arm over, drawing it closer toward your ear. And breathing here for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. You might choose to stay here in stillness, or with your top arm, you might peel your elbow back and extend it. Maybe 1 breath per movement if you'd like. Peeling the arm back and extending it to your desired range. As we take our last breath in stillness or movement, wherever you are. And with your next inhale, if you're ready to, you could reach your top arm up. Maybe it's your left arm. And with your bottom arm, you could twist it back, coming to bring the back hand to either the floor or maybe your blanket, whatever is accessible. And then bringing your front arm to your opposite knee. So we're coming into a twist, and you decide how much into the twist do you want to be. So if it feels like this twist is maybe a bit restrictive, maybe you soften the twist a little bit. Or if this twist is very enjoyable, perhaps you use your arms as levers, and with your exhale, you might even send yourself just slightly deeper into the twist. As we take 1 last conscious breath in and out. And then inhaling right back to center, unraveling. Pausing in between, just feeling what you feel. And then here, I'm gonna change direction so that you can see me a little bit better. But we'll begin to extend one leg out. I'm gonna start on my left side. And you might choose to keep your right leg in, just tucked in close. And as you breathe here, you can take a moment to tune into your body and notice, am I supported? Do I feel like my body is secure with where I'm at? And if not, you can make any changes necessary that do allow you to feel a bit more supported. Whether that's, again, placing the blanket over you or maybe even removing the blanket, you choose. And you could stay right here at center. This is a good place to be. Or if you're curious, you might inhale and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, maybe you even turn your torso toward your extended leg and begin reaching forward. And so you can reach maybe for your shin or your ankle or your foot. You could also just allow your arms to rest down at your sides. And wherever you are, I invite you to check in with your body, noticing, does this shape serve me? Because if not, you can always change your mind. And I invite you to be here for the next 2 or 3 rounds of breath, maybe in stillness, or perhaps you ease in and out of the stretch. So that could look like inhaling and just lifting the chest a little bit, and exhaling to rock back forward. Maybe taking a few more. You choose stillness or movement. And after your last exhale, you might come back to stillness. Option 1 is to stay right here, enjoying this sensation and this stretch. Option 2 is to inhale. So if your left leg is reaching forward like mine is, then you could inhale and reach your right arm up, allowing the spine to follow. And then send your right hand back to the floor, back behind you. And here you could explore inhaling and coming onto your right knee and sending the hips up and forward. Maybe even reaching your left arm up towards the sky. And so you can even adjust your left foot as you inhale, lift up. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you enjoy this big heart opener, or perhaps you lower the hips back down and then find your way up again for one last breath. Knowing that you have the right to leave any shape that does not support you in this moment. And as you exhale, settling the hips back down to the mat and taking a moment here at center to just check in, perhaps taking a few organic movements. Or maybe you even plant the feet wide, allow the hands to come back to the mat back behind you, and send the hips over one direction and then the other. So you can choose. Do you want to stay at seated? Maybe take a few organic spinal movements or neck movements, or maybe come here into this windshield wiper movement. There's no wrong choice. It's completely up to you. And so finishing up whichever movement you are on. And if you're ready to take this flow on the next side, I invite you to come back into a seated shape. And we'll inhale. And if you'd like to join me, you could reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, maybe you place your opposite hand on your mat. Maybe you reach your top arm over, feeling the opening in your ribs and your lungs. Option to stay at center, or you could return to this fluid movement, maybe peeling your elbow back and then reaching the hand all over again. 2 more rounds of breath here at your own pace. There's no rush. This is your practice, your body, your choice. Last one. And you could inhale and reach yourself right back up to sitting with your top arm continuing to reach up towards the sky, and maybe your bottom arm swiveling back behind you, planting your hand on your prop or the floor, and then your top arm could come down to your opposite knee. Finding a twist that suits your body. So these shapes, these poses, we are not meant to fit our body into the pose. The pose is meant to fit our body, which means we adjust the shape to suit what our body needs in this moment. So you can make adjustments. You are free to take creative freedom, creative choice. As we take one last breath here. And maybe if you're ready to move on, you could inhale and come right back to center. Just noticing for one breath in and out, whatever is present for you. Option to extend your opposite leg that you did last time. So if you were following me last time, it would be your right leg that extends. And again, you could stay right here. If this is feeling like something you want to explore, stay here and explore it. If you want to join me for the same shape that we did last time, then you could inhale and reach your arms up. And maybe turn your torso toward your extended leg. And if you want, you could start to reach. And here, you could reach for whatever or wherever your hands land. Or you might even find a fluid movement here. So you could inhale and lift your chest halfway, and maybe exhale and settle back into your stretch. So stillness or movement, I invite you to be here for about 2 more full rounds of breath, or however long you want to be here. Last one. And if you're ready to come up and out of this shape, you could inhale and lift your left arm up towards the sky. So if your right leg is extended, it would be your left arm that extends up. And then reaching your left hand behind you, planting it on the floor. If you want to explore this next shape as we did last time, you could press up onto your left knee, open up through the heart, and maybe even reach your right arm up. You could stay here in stillness, or you could lower the hips back down to the earth and reach back up as many times as you want. Last round of breath wherever you are. and releasing down in your own timing. You might come back into a seated shape, perhaps exploring a few shoulder rolls or neck movements. And taking this opportunity to observe, to feel whatever you're feeling. Perhaps bringing the affirmation to the front of your mind. I am free to choose. You have the right to choose. You have the right to take up space in your healing, in your feeling, in your story, with your voice, with your needs, with your dreams and your desires. All of you is free to choose, and all of you is welcome to take up space as you choose. With your next inhale, if you'd like to join me for one final shape, you might explore finding a little bit more spaciousness through your spine, maybe noticing it float up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you might allow your chin to drop down towards your chest. And you might just pause here, allowing the head to grow heavy, feeling any sensation maybe in the back of the neck or even in between the shoulder blades from this shape. Or you might decide to slowly rock your head from side to side, making some half circles and feeling into the sensation that you are creating in your body. One last round of breath, in and out. And then the next time your chin is at center, or whenever you're ready to release this shape, you might start to lift the head back up. And if you'd like, you could join me for just 6 or so rounds of breath. Simply bringing awareness into your inhales and exhales, not changing your breath, so to speak, not forcing it to be different, just simply noticing the fact that you are breathing. And as you are breathing, you might also notice your body moving as you breathe. That's all we're doing. You don't have to fix or change or do anything differently. Just simply notice. Starting to finish up these last few rounds of breath. And if you enjoyed this short class and feel that you could benefit from longer classes, you might explore Soma Yoga, which is my purely online trauma-informed yoga studio, filled with classes in the virtual library, and a new class is added every single week. And if you join my email list, you'll even get 50% off your first month. You can just visit my website, hannahuri.com, which is linked to my YouTube channel. And to end our class, you might join me with hands at heart center, or you might leave your hands exactly where they are. And if you'd like, you could join me for one collective breath, starting with an exhale out. And we'll breathe in together. Thank you for practicing with me and for allowing this class to be an experience of practicing your choice and your freedom to choose. I hope that you feel safe, connected, and at home in your body. Thank you.